Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn with the Active Trend Traders, how to make money trading stocks weekly live stream. And of course, our live stream is a little bit, apparently some technical difficulties on that, but we will proceed and go forward. One of the things that we've been working with Active Trend Trading, and one of the reasons why we offered this as a free session every Friday, is that, one, we want to help people learn how to focus on the process, and the profits will follow. One of the things that we started over the last couple, this past week, is our intensive, it's called Accelerate Mentoring Program. And what has been really good about that program so far is, one, we've got a couple of really good profitable trades, which is really excellent. We've provided people some additional tools. But one of the things that was beneficial to me is it helped me understand what may have been missing with folks regarding active trend trading. And what it forced me to do is it forced me to take a look again and simplify my charts all over again. So get rid of a lot of clutter. So, you know, it's like spring cleaning time, but we're doing it at the end of the year. Because I can tend to be a indicator hoarder. Or, you know, do your charts look like you're an indicator hoarder? In other words, you got way too many indicators for what you need, really, and the indicators actually distract from your ability to do work, and you miss things. And that was what was happening with me. And so that, and then secondly, joining us today live, of course, is Steve Ferreira from the Honolulu IBD. We've been working together a little bit now for the last little bit and really enjoying it. Steve basically is bringing us one stock per week that he's interested in doing, and we'll go live with him in just a little bit. One of the other things that I just want to come and say straight out is that Steve, when I got back to Hawaii and started going to the the meetups, in Honolulu, Steve was very welcoming. He says, "Oh, by the way, I'm trading the Wilborn method for the 8-day moving average triggers." And I go, "Really?" I go, "How you doing?" And I think, Steve, I think you said, and you can unmute yourself. I think you said you were doing like about 60 to 65% per year utilizing that method. Am I misstating you? Hi, Steve.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. And so I looked at Steve and I go, "Well, thanks a lot for that information." And then I looked at myself and I said, "Dadgummit, I'm not hitting that kind of level." And because my objective is to do 40% per year. But after talking with Steve, after putting together this package for the Accelerate Mentoring Program, which is a heavy-duty 6 weeks course on learning the active trend trading system and becoming a profitable trader, what I put together is, my target for the year is too low. And so I'm upping my objective profit target for the year up to 50%. And so for premium members, just stand by, because, as you see, we've had some really good trades this week. You'll be getting the benefit of that. And if you're, it's a great time to become a premium active trend trader members. You can get in on the ride through the end of the year. So remember, all the materials we do present are for trading purposes only. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. So the objective of the session today, timely actual intel review at the end of the week, seeking to clarify and simplify market decisions so wealth can be multiplied. My initial market review, I'm looking for a zone, the market was looking for a zone to bounce from. It appears to have found it. Now the question comes, is this a relief rally or is it something more? Make any long move, in other words, bullish move, make it prove itself before you jump into the other. And then we'll also take a real quick look at it. Steve has, I think, Steve, your you're going to be talking about a little bit about Apple and what you see, why you want to be trading Apple right now. And let's see if we have any bonus setups. So let's get over to, we are entering this time of year. As you see, oftentimes the first part of October can be a little bit shaky because it's coming off of September weaknesses. We've got a whole bunch of other stuff going on out there in the market. We are in a current rally. Bounce, but as you said, you know, and I see you guys commenting on it, is a dead cat or is a, you know, dead cat bounce or whatever. We'll take a look at the index charts. But again, we're moving into, I would like to see, you know, here's what Dennis would like to see, but this is based on just opinion right now. I would like to see a pullback into the middle of October and then a bounce from there to move back up. But we'll take a, like I said, we'll take a look at the charts to see what's going on. So here we are. Like I said, we've had a very good week this week. The indexes, the NASDAQ regained the high from last year so far. You know, this was 9 o'clock this morning. We've had some excellent trades. I think some of the people who are on the mentoring program, you guys have been able to join in on some of those trades and are doing, hopefully doing well with those. It's kind of nice to take profit off the table, which we did on the team position. We did on team, yeah, on the team position. So, yeah. So let's take a look at some charts because that's what we're here for. Want to also remind you, if you're not signed up as at least a free newsletter member of Active Trend Trading, you miss out on probably the strongest watch list that's available on the internet today. And it's my Power Rank and Elite list that I put out every weekend to all my Active Trend Trading members. Here was the list from last week. PAGS, JBL, CPRNT, ESNT. And now while the market was doing a little bit of a correction this week, it's very interesting. You know, these are a lot of the same stocks. I know I see PAGS up there. PAGS is a stock that Steve highlighted a few weeks ago, and it was the top ranking stock last week. So let's go, and you get access to this watch list and then my elite watch list that shows every watch stock that has showed up on the IBD 50 for the year, and there's about 180 plus stocks in there right now. And you can get those, download them, and that way it saves you a heck of a lot of time because you don't have to go back and research what's going on, because that is already sorted out by both a couple of things. One, the fundamentals, and then secondly, some additional strengths that I call my power ranking system. And so let's go and take a look at what the indexes are telling us. Here we go. So here's the S&P. And let me get my drawing tools up and operational. So what I wanted to do is, we see the price action right now. We're getting the momentum shifting back around. If we close where we're at right now, which is right up against the 8-day moving average, our momentum TSI will have crossed over to the upside. That's positive. But there is a big but to be considered here. Is one, look what happened the last time this happened, which is here. Price action did move, but where did they move to? Right up back into the moving average clusters, the 8, the 50, and the 20. So and then what happened from there? Well, from there, what we saw was price action then bounced. We came right up into the moving averages, stopped dead in the water, fell back down. Hit our level of support, bounced right back up into the moving averages. This time it bounced a little higher than moving averages, right back down. So could we be seeing something like the same thing happening here? A TSI crossover and then a bounce, where to? Back into the moving averages. And so that's the trigger. If I were to be looking to get into like the spiders, I would not buy at the end of today because I'm too close to resistance. I would wait to see what kind of trigger I have on Monday. And plus, you know, we don't know what kind of tweets are going to come out or what kind of things are going to be going on with the, you know, the Chinese trade deals and all that kind of stuff. And so I think it'd be prudent. Just walk into the weekend saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to wait. I like that I'm getting a bullish signal, but let's see what, you know, so let's see, make it prove itself. And that's what I was talking about. So we've got a little box going on here, but we're below the 50. And anytime you get below the 50, typically, you know, rallies up into the moving averages, at least the first rally, oftentimes, basically is a time to, you know, you don't want to take that first trade. Closing, how long? And so, let's see, Troy, you asked for close decisively above the 50 and how long? Well, the 50 is the golden line there on the daily chart, so it hasn't closed above that yet. We have closed below it, and so that's where I'm having kind of a bearish bias to my assessment right now. Qs, similar type thing. Qs, right, you know, again, nice move up. It basically, let me get rid of that. As you see, where's it, you know, is it going to stop right there? I can throw on a, it's always a good idea. I'll go here and grab this high and this high, extend that to the right. And you can see, I've not quite made it up to that downtrending line yet. Now I may make it, we'll see. We've got kind of a gap going on here. So this may turn out to be an island, you know, bottom kind of thing. It might, but right now, all we've got is kind of the first impressions in place. Now, what about the Qs? The Russell. The Russell has been the weakest link, and as you can tell, it is continuing to be the weakest link, with price actions, you know, lagging dramatically. Yes, we have found what appears to be a short-term bottom, but here's the way I would probably play this going forward. I would, if I was going to go long something, I would wait for a opening to trade the Qs or TQQ. If I was going to want to short one of the indexes, I would wait for our buddy IWM here to get up into where? Up back into approximately its moving averages, because that dotted line there is the 200-day moving average. So that's you know, that is a negative for the overall market. And oftentimes the IWM, the Russell, will lead either to the upside or to the downside, and it has been leading right now to the downside. But as of this moment in time, we do not have a trigger going in either direction on TQQ. We'll be watching it closely while we do have long triggers, but no setups on the spiders or the S&P and the NASDAQ. We could get one of these little puppies right here where we've come down, we retest. If we can move back up into the moving averages like it did over here, reject, then the next question mark is going to be back when it gets down around the 144 level. So Steve, you wanted to talk about Apple. So I think you can unmute yourself. And you've got an Apple, why is Apple still the apple of your eye? It was the apple of your eye last week too. Are you there, Steve?
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I like the fact that yesterday we tested the gap when Apple gapped up on September 10th. On the recent pullback, we tested that gap and held at the 50 MA.
Okay.
And so yesterday I had an intraday entry. If you go to the 30-minute chart, I can show you the exact entry.
I can do that, man. Hold on just a second. Boy, I have, look at that. I have it all teed up for you.
Okay, so we had the pull. The dotted line is approximately the 217.53. It's approximately the gap level.
Right.
I think the gap is actually, let me see my notes. The gap is actually 217.61.
Okay.
The gap fill was at 217.61. So when we recovered the gap area, so we had a strong opening bar down yesterday. It looks like a reversal bar. Then we had an inside bar, and as soon as we recovered, we took out the high of that inside bar. It was a long entry for me because we were just above the gap entry.
Okay.
The gap level that had been filled, and then starting to trade away from it, which I think is bullish action.
Okay, so you got it. What price did you get in?
217.66.
217.66, and so let me highlight this. Here, okay, awesome. So you basically took on a 30-minute chart. Here was this was the second hour of the day, 4:30 in the morning here in Hawaii. And so as soon as that was cleared, you jumped on a trade.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I was looking for a low to like the likelihood, the probability was very high that the gap level, if tested, would hold, and we're also at a rising 50 MA in that same area. So I thought it was a high probability trade for a long entry.
I like that. Yeah, one of the things based off of your recommendation on Apple not your recommendation, we don't recommend anything, but you're highlighting Apple last week. I actually was able to grab a trade here bouncing off the 20-day. I did a bull. I think it was bull put spread where I was a credit spread, and I got into it basically right there at about 217-ish, and then I closed. It all closed out when we came up here and put in this shooting star.
Right.
And so that worked out very, very well. It wasn't a huge. I made close to $400 or $500 on it. It wasn't, but still, hey, that's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, huh?
Right. Correct. Absolutely. Okay. And I think the other secondary reason for this trade is we're into earnings season for Apple. It's about a month away. And the chart's looking bullish. So I suspect this bullishness should hold, provided the market doesn't tank.
Yep.
Bullishness should hold for Apple. It ought to be a good trade into earnings.
Yeah, I agree. And so if, you're sitting there thinking, guys, hey, I missed this trade. It has run past me. Just basically tune in. Matter of fact, if you are a Bay Area moneymakers, I'm going to be talking specifically about how to use a two-step process to improve your trading consistency and success consistency. And part of it's on learning how to, what Steve just did over here on this intraday chart, because you're not a day trader, Steve, but you utilize the intraday chart as a tool to get better executions. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct, yeah.
And I do the same thing, guys. And the thing that's nice about having both Steve and I here, you're getting two different views on a similar topic. And so hopefully you'll come away with some good ideas about that. So thanks, Steve. Awesome, man.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'll wrap up the rest of the thing, and there we go. So, hey, remember, if you do need a speaker, if you represent a group anywhere in the United States where I can tune in with a webinar, I would love to do that. I stay up late. I get up early for our members all across the United States and around the world, actually. Monthly Bay Area Moneymaker meeting tomorrow, October 5th. And there's what I'm going to talk about, two-step setup for consistently successful trades. If you want to find out what that is about, just go to the this website, bayareamoneymakers.com, and there's a place where you can RSVP and also, you know, pay your monthly tuition. That gives you access actually to not only tomorrow's session, but the previous 3 sessions, 90 days worth of past training sessions. Premium members, I hope premium members, it appears like you are really enjoying the live market trading rooms that we've been doing throughout the week. We do 2 of them, one on Mondays to set up the week and one on Friday to finish off the week. So again, a real big plus for premium members. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to be doing a swing trading secrets webinar. Announcement soon. I keep saying that week after week, but trust me, the announcement is coming soon. So with that, hey, again, if you're not a member of Active Trend Trading, at least get signed up to get these weekly elite watch lists, and you just find it here at this website. And so with that, I'm going to call it a day and say thanks for joining us today. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. We're getting into hopefully the fall period of the year where things will start cooling down a little bit. So keep the egg growing. Like I said, I'm upping my game going into the end of the year. Thanks to feedback from a lot of different other traders like Steve, Eric, and all. I'm upping my game. I am going for at least 50% return. I've been averaging in excess of 30+% per year. I'm going for 50% through the rest of the year. So we'll add that on top. So with no further ado, those premium members stand by for the final hour. It's coming up at the top of the hour. And so aloha, trade well, and prosper. Have a great weekend. Mahalo, which in Hawaiian means thank you. And mahalo nui loa, which means thank you very much. God bless. Have a great one. Steve, thanks. You awesome job, man.